Hello, everybody. I wanted to say hello and just give you a message of encouragement and talk to you a little bit about something. Somebody recently contacted me and they said, since I teach people it's not healthy to eat animals, I'm teaching the doctrine of demons, because in 1 Timothy 4, I think verse 5, it says, if anyone's teaching you not to be married or teaching you to abstain from, it says in the word creatures, eating creatures. It says meat, but it doesn't necessarily mean meat. It could mean, in the King James Version, meat meant food. So anyone telling you not to eat food, and then it says creatures, so people automatically assume it's the animals. But in the Greek, and you would get into the word, creatures don't necessarily mean animals. Creatures, we're creatures. Everything's a creature. But when you look at it in the Greek context, everything's it talks about anything. Those that tell you not to eat. So if somebody's telling you you're fasting, they're supposedly teaching the doctrine of demons. And whether it's truly animals or not animals or whatever it is, I'm teaching people how to be healthy and overcome disease. I'm teaching people how to keep their bodies clean. It is not healthy today, 2025, to consume animals. Now, there are things out there on the internet that talk about, oh, somebody eats only animals and they're healthy or something like this. And I have a whole health channel where I talk why long-term that's not healthy to do. And I tell people, if you believe that's healthy and you want to do that, that's fine. And I'm not teaching anyone it's a sin to eat animals. And I'm certainly not teaching a doctrine of demons, because the demons want to kill you. The demons want you dead. The demons want you destroyed, and they don't want you close to Yah. And anyone that follows this channel and anyone that knows my message knows I want you to draw closer to Yah, not farther away. And I certainly am not giving information that's going to kill you. So, as I say, people will go to lengths to defend what they're doing. And people today are addicted to certain things. And when it comes to animals, people are addicted to consuming them. And they'll pull out every doctrine out of context that they can think of to support their argument for continuing to harm their bodies. And I would suggest, if anyone's teaching a doctrine of demons or somebody that's killing somebody, because that's what the demons want to do, it's somebody that's giving thumbs up to harming our bodies, to harming our physical temple that Yah created us to live and thrive with, but just to do harm to it. And I'm not saying that if you have, an animal once a year or once even a week, that you're going to die tomorrow. I'm just saying it's not healthy physically and possibly even spiritually, because it says in the word, now I'm not calling eating animals a sin, but it says in James 4:17, to know good and not do it, to him it is sin. Well, it's good not to eat foods that are going to harm your body. So if you know that it's good not to eat foods, but you still do it, that's what James 4:17 says. Now, when people watch this, I know how people feel. I know they're passionate, and I know there are some people that switch to something like a carnivore diet or something where they're only eating animal flesh, and they feel great and everything's wonderful. And as I said, I have a whole health channel that talks about why somebody might feel better and might even be having results by consuming animals and leaving everything else out. However, in the long run, that is not a good diet. It's not wise, and I don't recommend it. Now, the same person that would accuse me or say that I'm teaching a doctrine of demons, and they want to defend their addiction to animal flesh and death and killing. They want to defend that, and that might be you listening. You say, well, the scriptures support eating animals. I say, well, how do you come to that conclusion? They say, well, the animals here, the prophets ate animal, this, and this, and this. I say, okay, well, it says in the word that there are some things that are acceptable but not profitable to man, right? So as far as I see, and I'm not trying to tie the issues together, I'm just giving you the example. When you say, well, there are people in the scripts that ate meat, so it must be good. I say, well, how many of you believe in polygamy? Because according to scriptures, there are scriptures where there were people that were polygamists. But I don't see most people that's supporting meat running around saying, well, I could be a polygamist because the Bible said it was okay, or the Bible didn't condone it. We know, even though it's been condoned for a certain reason at that time, it's technically not a sin, but it's not profitable for man to be in a situation like that in today's world. Same thing with much older men being with younger women. Today you get arrested for something like this. But if you want to get technical and look at scriptures, in the context of the culture of that time, that was considered normal. And it wasn't condemned by our Creator, and it wasn't considered a sin. I'm not condoning it. I don't recommend it. But when you try to defend eating animals because Yah never called it a sin, well, same thing with those things. So why are we so strong about those things? But when it comes to meat, we kind of like make an excuse. It's because we try to find scriptures to back up what we're doing, whether the world says it's good or bad or not. And we should ultimately look at scripture. Regardless of what man says, we should look at scripture. And I'm not trying to come against scripture. I'm certainly not trying to come against Jan. I'm certainly not teaching a doctrine of demons. If you want to eat meat and you believe it's okay and you believe your health is fine, go ahead and do that. That's your choice. But I have enough information out there from a biblical standpoint, from a science standpoint, from just a common sense standpoint to tell you that it is not profitable, it is not healthy physically, and possibly not healthy spiritually to consume animal flesh and perhaps even things that come from animals, but definitely animal flesh. The death and the killing and the consuming of these things that are not beneficial for the body. It's your choice, and you don't have to agree with that statement. But I know I've suffered from a disease in the past. I've overcome it. I help people overcome diseases every single day with all these different illnesses and everything else by simply telling them to change how they're eating and change how they're thinking about Yah's word and living and so on. And changing their attitude, and they're getting better. And I'm not making this up or creating anything. This is all in the word. The word says these things. Your body is the temple of Yah. He wants you to treat it in a certain way. Dear brothers and sisters, I hope all is well with you and you're healthy in body as you are in spirit. Our Creator wants us to be physically healthy. And I'll say it again. Eating meat, eating flesh of the animals is not the best thing for our overall health. Just because you've gotten away with doing it, just because the word doesn't condemn it or say it's a sin, isn't wise to continue doing it if it's definitely connected to health issues. You do what you want with that information. But again, the doctrine of demons is to figure out a way to get us farther away from Yah. And if any of you out there claim that I'm worshiping a vegan diet or something like this, I will claim you're worshiping eating animals, because this isn't about diet or anything like that. This is about getting closer to Yah. And if your appetite means more to you than your physical health, than your life, who's worshiping what? If you'd rather eat something you know that's bad for you, I mean, think about that. That you know it's killing you. And if you don't know, all fair. You don't know. And if you think different, all fair. Good, think different. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. All right, so I just wanted to share that, and I want to encourage you to look into this. Look at my health teachings. Look at my life. Some people say, oh, you can never live without meat. But I've been living without meat now for over 30 years. I know other people that live with meat for 30 years, and they seem to be doing okay. But really, are they? Or really are you? Think about it. Is your health where you want it to be? Think about that. And like I say, if you have no reason to change, if you're happy where you're at, if you're reaching your health goals, wonderful for you. But if you're not, consider what I'm saying. Consider going on a Daniel fast. Consider going a month or 2 months or 3 months with no animal flesh at all in your diet. See how you feel after that. It's not a salvation issue, folks. It certainly isn't a salvation issue. But I do believe our Creator wants us to experience the joy of good health. Any form of a disease in our bodies on one level or another is a curse. And the scriptures tell us curses are connected to disobedience. Whether we know it or not, there are consequences to disobedience. And it says health is a blessing. It's a blessing. Exodus 15:26 says, if you diligently follow my guidelines and instructions and do not follow the ways of the Egyptians, I will not put the same disease upon you that I put upon them. If we're getting the same diseases as the world, we must be doing something that the world is doing. And how can we change that? Figure out what that is. And what that most likely is eating animal flesh and just treating our bodies like pretty much garbage bags and just throwing a bunch of crap inside it. And I want my brothers and sisters to experience the great health that I feel. And I'm not going to stop telling people the connection between eating animals, cancer, and all these other diseases, because it's true and it's out there. So I pray you all having a blessed day out there. May Yah be with you. May Yah bless you with the greatest health. But we got to do our part. And it's less money. You'll have more energy. You'll lose weight. Possibly, very possibly, overcome your diseases if you simply stop eating things that are creating your problem. And it's not only animals. Anyone that says to me that I worship a vegan diet and all I teach is not eating meat, I know you're not listening to my message. Just the message of me and the message of Scripture. It's not about eating animals. It's about treating your body healthy. And if you're eating things, putting things in your body, it's not going to be healthy. It's not good for you. I talk about overeating. I talk about eating at the wrong times. I talk about eating just things that are processed and not healthy. I don't just talk about eating animals or not eating animals, but that's what people want to hear. They just want to go straight to that. So whenever somebody says, well, Paul, all he teaches about is we shouldn't eat animals, I know you have not listened to the majority of my messages over the years. So, I really hope people start waking up and start listening, because the enemy is trying to kill us and the doctrine of demons is trying to destroy us. So if you're not healthier every day, perhaps you are the one that's listening to doctrine of demons. But if you are getting healthier every day, then you're experiencing the blessings that Yah wants you to experience. Have a blessed day, everybody. Yah be with you all. If you have any questions, please post them below and check out. I'll put my health channel below as well. You can see the videos there. I have interviews with many people that have started listening and improving their health, and you could as well. Have a great day, everybody. Yah be with you, and shalom, shalom.
Torah Life Ministries, come out of the world. Messiah people seek the truth.